In opening up this lesson, I have a story I want to share with everybody. One day while I was teaching pre-AP English back in the 8th grade around 2014, the Lord gave me a vision. And I didn't know what this was called at the time, but now I soon have a name for it, which is called toxic charity or giving, which the Lord gave to somebody else, a man who actually wrote a whole book about this. But anyway, getting back to the actual story. I had a student that forgot to bring a pencil to his class. It was the first time that it happened, so I supplied him with one so he could accomplish his work. He was grateful, or he appeared to be. The following week, he didn't have a writing utensil again. I didn't question it, so I supplied him with one. Again, he was grateful, or it appeared to be, but more casual this time. The next day of that same week, he was unprepared again, sitting at his desk, shoulders shrugged, and dismissive of doing any work solely because he didn't have something to write with. Now, feeling the imaginative pressures from the administration breathing down my neck if he didn't succeed, you know those dire consequences follow if little Johnny's state test scores aren't satisfactory, I caved in again, giving him another pencil. I could have took it deeply personal, but more than likely he did not know the pressures I faced by the state and my immediate superiors. Yet after the third, fourth, and fifth pencil, he wasn't expecting to bring his own writing materials to class, but for me to supply it. And my fear and desperation to make sure he wins the state tested prevented me from properly teaching him about preparation, or at the very least, reinforce my procedures for the classroom materials and hold him accountable. This was the first time I went through the cycle of toxic charity and didn't even realize it because I couldn't put a name to it until years later. And by this experience, the Lord began to reveal to me the understanding of toxic giving as I reflected on this circumstance. Now, going back to that classroom and reflecting about this, I had a vision of how giving can be a bad thing. On a whiteboard, I illustrated what toxic giving was, or as I called it at the time, the 5 negative consequences of giving. It blew my mind once I completed this little illustration. I was simply amazed at what the Lord just taught me. And again, this all happened in 2014 during my first year of teaching.